Okay, so I'm waiting. Anybody who is bold enough to tell us what their why is if you're running this business. Maybe you may want to type it on your phone. It doesn't have to be just one why. Maybe for
No,
you,
sir.
there are 10 reasons. Or maybe for you, there are 5 reasons. There are 2 reasons. There are 3 reasons. Okay. But what if it's just one reason for you, no problem. You can go ahead. Okay, we can hear you, Mr. Emmanuel, sir. Go ahead, please. Tell us.
Yes, what I'm trying to say is that everybody has his reason why he is joining this business. Like, for example, myself,
Mm,
I told you I went for surgery.
yeah.
If not that a friend helped me they gave me 5 million, I wouldn't have been alive till today. So
Mm,
I need financial freedom to solve my problem. That is why I
mm.
have entered into this business.
Wow.
So that at any point in time, if I'm able to generate money through this business, I can now solve my immediate problem.
Mm.
I have
Wow.
also retired. The
Wow.
reason why I joined this business is to keep myself, because I'm still young. You saw me now. I'm still a
Mm.
young man.
Yeah.
So I need to be busy. I need to do work. In the morning, I don't need to start sleeping. I should
Yeah.
go out
Yeah.
and then and meet friends and tell them about this business, just like what I did today,
Yeah.
meeting those people. And I also created a tracking book, as you said,
Beautiful.
writing down all those names. So the reason why I entered into this business is to get financial freedom, to have money around me to solve my immediate problem, and to also make other people that I'm talking with millionaires.
Mm.
That is the purpose of entering into this business. Yes, I have my own house in Port Harcourt. I still need to build houses that will generate income for me in future. Just like as I told my children that all of us need to put on in this business. Let it become a family business. That is the reason why I am putting my effort into this business, so that
Mm.
I will not cry tomorrow because of finance, especially now that I'm retired.
Wow.
If you don't have these days, there is a liter of fuel is how much now? How do you move? So it's quite health. And then we also talked about the health aspect of it. The freedom to get to be in good health is another reason why I have also entered. Like
Yeah.
now, I read things clearly using the Opta Clear.
Yeah. The Ultra
Before
Bright.
I damn eye, but I have finished one bottle of it. I've still reordered. I'm waiting for when Ultra Clear will come. So
Wow.
it is also for health purposes. That is one of the reasons why I am into this business. I have also made up, because I have seen the product myself. It's not a prosy
Yeah.
business. It's a business that is quite clear. You have a tangible material to show the person you are talking to, and you have a tangible evidence. So that is the reason why I, in particular, has entered into this business. Financial freedom, health-wise, and then also it will also make me to make new friends. That's the reason, to expand my territory. That's the major reason why I am into this business.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much. Thank you.
God bless.
Thank you so much for opening up. For speaking. I believe that someone has been inspired by that, by his why. You can see his reasons. So for somebody like this, you don't need anyone to motivate. You see, motivation gets you started, but discipline, a vision, is what keeps you going. A lot of times, a lot of people are motivated to start, but the moment they start something, if there is no why, if there is no vision to keep them going, they can easily quit. That is why quitting is one of the easiest things that anybody can do. It's very easy to quit, but it is more difficult to stay and be disciplined to get results. When people look at successful men or women, they actually think that success is a function of maybe luck and some other factors. How many of you know that it is more difficult to stay successful than to get to success? Anybody can get to the zenith, maybe by luck, by favor, by grace, but to stay up there and maintain that success position, it doesn't just come easily like that. Somebody can win a lottery right now of, let's say, 20 million naira or 50 million or 100 million. And in that person's world, the person can be categorized as a successful man, because I mean, if you win 100 million, it can do a lot for you. But you see, because this individual has not gone through the process of what it takes to sustain that money in terms of capacity, personality, it's only a matter of time. That money will just keep vanishing as if the wind is blowing it off. So you just realize that it's not just about the money, it's about staying up there. And that's why these trainings are very important, because most of you, or some of you here, very soon your business is going to get to a particular level of income. Maybe you're earning in 6 figures or you're earning in 7 figures. But you must understand that the process by which you are going to get to that level, you need to develop thick skin, you need to develop certain leadership skills, you need to develop certain attributes that can position you as the man or the woman who eventually has merited that level of income that you have gotten eventually. Because you cannot get to a certain level of income in this business through luck. Like I told us yesterday, some of you are here, it is 9:32 p.m., but you're attending a training. The same training that you are attending right now, there are other people who are supposed to be here that got the same information, that got the same Zoom link, but they are not here. So what now separates you that you are here and this other person who doesn't pay attention to this thing is that tomorrow they will say that you are lucky. But it's not about luck. It's about intentionality. It's about being deliberate. It's about being, consistent and committed so that you can actually drive a powerful cause home. So with that being said, permit me quickly to share my slide, because what I want to discuss with us very quickly is something that is very, very powerful, but a lot of people undermine it. So many people undermine it, but it's very, very powerful. And it's called the power of focus. The power of focus. That's what we want to take a look at this evening. Can you see what is on my screen? Please, if you can see it, just type in 111. If you can see what is on the screen, the power of focus. Type in 111. All right. So let's get straight in. Let's talk about the power of focus. You see, one of the most interesting businesses in this world is network marketing. How many of you know that between the last 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, there are newer companies that are going to come into this industry, that are going to come into this country with different products, with different compensation plans, and with different opportunities. Please hear this. Let me read what is on my screen. If you are chasing 2 rabbits, you will not catch anyone. And this is according to Gary Keller. The first day that I saw this, I read his book. The book is titled The One Thing. Maybe you might look for that book and read it. It's called, the title is The One Thing by Gary Keller. When I saw this statement, I read it over and over again. It might sound very simple, but its implication in our everyday life is the reason why a lot of people are not getting results. It might sound very simple, but its implication in our everyday life is the reason why a lot of people are struggling. It's called the power of focus. Now, when we are talking about the power of focus in this business that we're doing, what do we mean? A lot of us here are married people. Some of us have children. Some of us have relatives. Some of us even have jobs. Some of us are running this business on a spare time basis. Some of us are running it on a part-time basis, while some of us are running it on a full-time basis. But you see, regardless of where you find yourself, focus is essential and key to success in this business. And I'm going to share some things with us very quickly. But before I jump in, I want us to watch this video very quickly. I'm a nature person, and one of the areas that you can actually do a thorough assessment of yourself is to look at nature, especially look at animals. Even the Bible says go and study the ants, right? One day, there was a time I did something recently, and so at the house, there are these crumbs of bread that fell down, just in front of the house, crumbs of bread just fell down. And before I could come back in about 10-15 minutes, I saw ants, lots of them, lots of ants. So I didn't know where they came from. And so before you blink your eye, they had finished all the crumbs on the ground, the food. So it was fascinating to me. Guess what I did? I went inside, intentionally took other crumbs of bread, and I put it in strategic places. I just put in about 2 or 3 places on the ground, and I sat down. I was watching. You see, what I saw that day, it changed my perspective about law and order. I saw ants coordinated in a straight line. Some were going, some were coming. Some were taking crumbs of food, little bits, passing it to another one, going. There were bigger ones. These were like, do I say the security? There's bigger versions, bigger ants. And so they were going by the side and following these workers, So it was a strong, they were going from the ground up through the wall and going up to, so I was just watching everything. It was fascinating, but it did something to me. And that's one of the bases upon which I just wanted us to get this started, about focus. And I want us to watch this short clip very quickly. Let's watch this clip, and then we will come back again and we will continue.
From the ashes of a crumbling empire, a phoenix rises. Seha is forging a clear path to the throne. She rebuilt the Matata pride from dust and despair. Now they are ready. Seha and her sisters are on the verge of a new dynasty. And their plans do not include him. A two-faced, tailless despot, Ramohata has played his part. Now he and his brothers just take. No more. Your time as our king is over. Your history. We are the future.
Now, what you just watched, there are two things that I want us to take note of from the clip we just watched. And these two things are the basis upon which we're going to be talking about this power of focus. The first one is about strategy. Strategy. You see, one of the lessons that we have learned, especially if you've been following how lions and tigers they hunt, is about strategy. What is strategy? Strategy just means effective planning. You don't just get out there and to do something. You must have a plan. That's the first thing. The second one is about teamwork. You'll notice that herds of lion, right? If you go to a pride, it's called Pride of Lions. This is where you find lions and, lionesses together. So they work together as a team. So to take down a prey, to take down an animal and to get food for that day, two things. The first one is strategy. There's a plan. One lion, two lions, three lions can come together to cause a distraction to be able to take down a particular prey. So if you look at what we just saw in relation to the business we're doing, the first question before we talk about focus is that what exactly is your strategy for success in this business? Number two, how effective is the team that you are building? Because without these two things, I tell you the truth, you might get results, but you might not get the kind of results that can stand you out. So for you to have a defined strategy and for you to be able to build a formidable team, one very important thing that you need is what we're discussing today, known as focus. A lot of us know who Bruce Lee is. He made a statement. He said, the successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus. The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus. What is laser-like focus? Laser-like focus means that if you put a laser beam on an object, it has the tendency to penetrate it, to tear it, to cut through it. That's what laser beams are. They can cut through something. Laser beams can even cut through metal. So how do you apply laser beam focus or laser-like focus to your business? Like I said, is that you need strategy, then you need formidable team. So when you combine these two, it gives you a position. And this position is that when you look at your business, until you achieve a particular goal, until you achieve some particular items that you've written down to achieve over a period of time, nothing can stop you, nothing can distract you, nothing can separate you. Now, let me tell you what the law of focus says. The law of focus says that whatever you behold, you become. How many of you have noticed that when you stay around somebody who has influence over you for a period of time, you just realize that you start behaving like the person? You either start talking like the person, or you start acting like the person, or you start liking the things the person likes unconsciously. You didn't plan for it. It just started happening naturally. How many of you have noticed something like that? If you've seen something like that, type in yes in the chat box. If you haven't, type in no. You just realize that someone is influencing you. Maybe you've been around somebody, you just notice that you start liking the things they like, you start talking the way they are talking, you start behaving a particular way that they are behaving. You didn't go to school. They didn't sit you down to teach you anything. They didn't sit you down to tutor you or to lecture you on these behavioral patterns. But you just noticed that you made a comment. Where did this comment come from? You just realized that it is this person that you've been around. Do you know what's happening there? This is because every time you associate with this person, every time you spend quality time with this individual, you are actually beholding these behavioral patterns of this person. And without knowing it, you're eventually becoming who that person is. It's called the power of influence. But it is based or attributed to the fact that focus is playing out there. And so when you look at your business right now, like I always ask people, what do you see? When you open your DTC, what do you see? When you log into your account, what do you see? To behold means to stare at, to glance at, to look at consistently, continually over a period of time. That's what to behold means. So when you behold this business called Shineway, what do you see? Do you see financial freedom? Do you see time freedom? Do you see an opportunity to help people? Do you see an opportunity to achieve a particular dream, to achieve a particular goal? Whatever it is that you frame out from your business, it eventually becomes that thing, or that thing that you become eventually, right? So this is a law of focus. I'll give you a little background very quickly. When we're talking about focus and killing every form of distraction, I'd like to give you a background of the aviation industry in flying, for instance. Now, in the early 1900s, prior to this time, please take note of this. It is easier for you and I to conceive, to just believe, because we can see planes that are flying right now. Prior to this time, metals, science have not been able to prove that metals can fly in the air. It has never happened before. Nobody has successfully flown a plane before. Nobody has successfully put up a metal out there because of force of gravity. So you can imagine that something that has never been done before, something that has never been achieved before, a group of people came out and said they want to achieve it. This group of people, they are known as the Wright brothers. In the early 1900s, they started postulating and saying that they could put a metal. This metal, today we are calling it planes, but then it wasn't planes, it was metal. So just imagine that's something that has never happened before. You and I know what gravity is. If it goes up, it must come down. But these guys have said that they can put a metal out there in the sky. Now, the moment you conceive this kind of idea, the moment you conceive this kind of dream, just like many of you have conceived a certain dream in this your Shineway business, but I tell you, something will start happening. It is called the forces of negativity. People would begin to speak against you. People will begin to ridicule you. People will begin to discourage you. Most times, it could even be coming from your immediate circle. So when this group of guys came out and said they wanted to put metals into the sky, I tell you, it was the talk of the town. Everybody said this is impossible. At a point, they even say these guys are crazy, that they are running mad. But guess what? Because of focus, they stayed. What you have on your screen is the first attempt, to fly a plane. Just like some of you, you are going to make your first attempt to earn your first 100,000 in this business at a go, to earn your first 500,000 one Friday, to earn your first 1 million on a Friday, which is a weekly bonus, to earn your first 2 million as a weekly bonus. Because like we just saw, that this group of guys conceived an idea and started working towards this idea that seemed impossible, because practically speaking, for some of you, where your business is right now, it looks practically impossible to cash out ₦1 million on a Friday, which is on a weekend for bonuses. But I tell you something, because of this series of trainings and the mind shifting or the paradigm shift that is taking place mentally right now, because as you're listening, you are conceiving ideas. As you're listening, there's something that is being generated within you. It's called energy. It's called the forces of nature. Energy cannot be destroyed or created. It can only be transferred. If you walk into a room that people are mourning, if you walk into a room that people are crying, if you walk into a room that people are in sorrow, naturally speaking, the energy that has been generated from that atmosphere, the moment you come in, it will be transferred to you. So without anybody talking to you, you will just sit down and you begin to sorrow with them. Let me tell you what happened. Energy was generated before you came. Likewise, if you walk into a room that people are celebrating the birth of a child, that people are dancing and people are rejoicing and people are happy, if you walk into that room, let me tell you what's going to happen to you. The energy that has been generated from that atmosphere, from that environment, will be transferred to you the moment you come. So without you, anybody even telling you how to flow or how to act along, you just realize that you'll be dancing, you'll be rejoicing with them. So it's called the forces of nature, whereby energy is being transferred. So what am I saying? So for some of you right now, the energy that is being generated from this series of training is creating possibilities in your mind for you to begin to see your business differently from the way you've been seeing your business before. And so these guys continued on the quest to ensure that they put a plane up there in the sky. The plane that they are attempting to put up there in the sky is the financial freedom that some of you are looking for in this business. Is the health freedom that some of you are looking for from your Shineway business. Let's see what happens next as we continue. But guess what? That one idea that was conceived by a group of people somewhere, somehow in the 1900s, over the years, because they persisted, because they believed, because they were consistent, because they generated the right mindset, today, this is what we have. Just like some of you, at the end of the day, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, there is a certain degree of success that you will achieve from this business that will set the right pedestal for financial freedom in your lineage. Maybe there is nobody yet that has cashed out or made a certain amount of money, in quotes. But guess what? Because of the possibilities, when you look at the numbers in this business, do you know what it means? When you look at your DTC, when you look at your dashboard, when you look at the bonuses we have, do you know what it means for the system to say from A, B, and C calculation, you can earn up to 80 million naira in a month from just one of the bonuses known as the team sales bonus? If you have a team of 59,000 distributors who are doing 30 PV in a month, you can earn 80 million naira in a month from your team sales bonus alone. Do you know what that means? Meanwhile, yesterday we heard that somebody built a team of over 1 million distributors from this same network marketing. I know a man that built a team of over 500,000 distributors. Just imagine that this particular person, 10% of that 500,000 distributors, which is 50,000, are doing their 30 PV, which is the buy one, get one free. This particular man is earning nothing like less than 70 million naira from the team sales bonus alone. If this man was running Shineway business, this is the power of the business that we're talking about. We're not even talking about the sponsor bonus. We're not even talking about the match sales bonus. We're not even talking about the leadership bonus yet. We're not even talking about the profit sharing yet. I am only just saying from the team sales bonus, if you build a team over the next years, you can earn as much as 80 million naira. If you're earning 80 million naira in a month right now, you can solve a lot of problems, both in your family and in your community. Because at that level, you have broken into a force. You have broken through a force. Like I was saying at the beginning of this session, you have occupied a position that didn't come by luck. So this is what flying looks like in 2022. The question, what will your business look like in the next 3 to 5 years? You started your business maybe in 2023. Just like the Wright brothers conceived an idea to put a metal in the sky, it's the same way you have conceived an idea, maybe for financial freedom, maybe for health freedom, maybe it could be for time freedom. But the question is, at what point are you going to give up? At what point are you going to quit? At what point are you going to say, I'm done with this. I'm not continuing anymore? And at what point are we going to look back and say, just like we have private jets right now, because of an idea that somebody conceived, at what point are we going to say, this man, this woman has successfully built a business of over 20, 30, 40, 50 million naira monthly income or more, as the case may be? Take note of this. Anybody who is not focused is being distracted. And when we talk about distraction here, I'm not talking about that thing that happens when, let's say maybe you are supposed to wash your clothes, you didn't now wash your clothes, and then you now decide to watch a movie, and then you started watching the movie in the morning. You're supposed to wash your clothes by 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. You now say, okay, let me just watch this movie quickly. And then that's not the kind of distraction I'm talking about. I'm going to show you typically what distractions truly are, especially if you are doing a business of this nature. Because one of the most easiest things to happen if you're in network marketing is distraction. And a lot of people don't know what these distractions are or in what forms these distractions actually come. That's why we're talking about focus right now. So I'm going to show you very quickly the various types of distraction and how they present themselves to dissuade you or to disconnect you from what you're seeking to build in this business. Okay? So now, let me show you a few causes of distraction quickly. What are a few causes of distraction that we find around us, especially if you're running network marketing, if you're doing your Shineway business? So it happens every now and then. You see it here. Most times, these distractions are genuine. They are very genuine. They are like genuine causes. You see, you will even ask yourself, but what can I do? There's nothing I can do now. That's what we're saying. Because at the end of the day, as long as it takes you out of course, and it does not allow you to go and lay hold of something that you have planned to, then it has distracted you. So let's look at a few causes of distractions very quickly. So the first one is friends and families. Friends and families. And when we are talking about friends and families, we're not even talking about a situation whereby somebody, let me just try to explain this in a way that will be very practical. Friends and family plays important roles in our lives. If you're a married woman here, you must take care of your husband. You must take care of your children. If you're a married man, you must take care of your wife and you must take care of your children. If you're a single man and maybe you have a relationship, you must take care of your spouse and whatever it is. You must attend weddings. You must go for birthday parties. If you have a relative or somebody who is throwing a party, your boss at the office, your colleague, you have to go for them because you have to be present. But the question is, at what point can you truly say? At what point can you willingly say, I will sacrifice not attending this wedding because of an event or because of an opportunity? Let me give you an instance. You've been talking to somebody who wants to see your business opportunity. This man has a capacity to go for platinum. And you have been following up this man for a very long time. And then he calls you up one day and says, okay, madam, I think we should see. Can you come to my house? He just calls you out of the blue and says, please, can you come around? My wife will be around. I'd like for you to explain so that we can talk to my wife. Maybe we can get started on a Saturday. So can you come to my house on Saturday by 10 a.m.? And on that same Saturday by 10 a.m., your immediate sibling has a wedding. Or your boss at the office is throwing her 50th birthday party and you are part of the planning committee. So your boss at the office is expecting you to go for the birthday party. This man has called you so that you'll be available for a meeting to discuss with his wife to see how they can get their business started. You see, in positions like this is where you have to make a critical decision. These things don't show up every now and then. It's not something that happens every day. But why I am citing this scenario is to give you a perspective about priority. Because until you begin to place premium priority on this business that you're building, because what you're doing here, you're building for the future. And this is what a lot of people don't know. It is not just about the gratification that comes now and then, the bonuses you are earning every Friday, as good as they are. Fundamentally, the business of network marketing is to build towards residual income. This is the ultimate goal of network marketing, is to build toward residual income. If we take away these, then the essence is defeated. It's like having another job, which so many people have before now. So until you come to that point where you can now prioritize your business, certain sacrifices have to be made. Certain decisions at critical points have to be made so that certain things cannot distract you from your business, but you will stay and ensure that you drive towards success in your business. The second form of distraction that happens to us is social media. This one, it happens so powerfully. You just say, a notification just came. Let you just read that notification on Facebook and you look at the time, it is 11:20 p.m. You have spent 2 hours, 30 minutes flipping through social media without even knowing it. But guess what? That time would have been used valuable to do something else. We are all guilty of this, all of us. We are all guilty in one way or the other. But it takes discipline. It takes a certain level of commitment. And it takes, above all, it takes focus. Such that when you realize that you have spent 15 minutes, you only wanted to view a notification, and then you realize that you are scrolling. You now saw a birthday party. You now saw your friend that wedded. You now watched the video. You now did it. You spent 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Before you know what's happening, time is going. So it takes a certain level of discipline for you to be able to overcome that kind of distraction. Social media is one of the biggest forms of distraction that takes a lot of people from their goals, from their plans, from their visions, but a lot of people don't know it. And let me tell you why. It's because there is a certain part of the brain that always looks for relaxation, that will tell you that it's been a long day. So, body no be firewood. So the best way to relax is to lie on your bed and punch your phone and watch videos. Meanwhile, you have 2-3 people that you have spoken to that day. All you needed to do was to just chat them up. Sometimes just that one, hello, hi, this is Madam so and so from Shineway. We spoke earlier in the day. And the person like, oh, because maybe that time this person too is relaxed. When you were talking to him earlier in the day or talking to her earlier in the day, he or she was busy. Now that both of you are relaxed, you have an opportunity to talk about your business. But guess what we do? We get distracted by places like social media. This is another powerful form of distraction. Another kind of distraction that happens every now and then, which I don't have on this slide, okay, is what I call third-party affiliations or validations, seeking for the validations of people. Most times, people don't even know that if you put yourself in a position whereby you're seeking validation from people, you're seeking approval from people, it will keep distracting you from your goals, because everybody has creative ingenuity in them. Sometimes the ideas that might spring up from within you might not appeal to every other person out there, but it's your unique DNA, because there's something within you that has generated that idea. So it does not need to appeal to anybody. But guess what we do? We seek the validation of other people, because if I do this thing, what will people say? If I do this thing, how will this person think? If I do it this way, will I generate results? And before you know what's happening, fear sets in. And if fear sets in, it distracts you. And before you know what's happening, you eventually don't do it, and you eventually don't get the results. Now, let me talk about focusing on your business as a distributor, whether you're running this business on a spare time basis, on a part-time basis, on a full-time basis. Let's talk about focusing on your business. Now that we've looked about the power of focus, now we have looked about the certain aspect or the certain things that can actually distract you. So how do you now take this laser focus and put it on your business to focus on this Shineway business that you're running? We have 2 months to go, about 2 months to go, about 50 days to wrap up the year. So what is it that in these 50 days to wrap up this year, I can be able to sit down and tell myself that this is what I want to achieve within this period of time? What is it that in these 50 days that you want to pursue so vigorously using the power of focus in your business? For somebody, it might be that maybe in the next 50 days, you want to generate 1 million naira cumulative income. That is good enough to start from. For another person, it might be more. For another person, it might be less. For another person, maybe you say you want to build a team of 100 people before the year runs out. These are realistic goals that can help you to build a certain degree of focus in your business. We talked about the power of why. So one of the ways that you can generate a laser focus in your business is to have a why. Because after all is said and done, without a why, you're not going anywhere. I tell you the truth. Motivation gets you started. Having a why keeps you going. What I'm doing now might spur motivation in some of you. You might be fired up, but I tell you the truth. Everything you're hearing today, everything you're seeing today, information comes to us like what we call stacking. That's how information works in the mind. Every information you heard now, by the time you wake up tomorrow and you're hearing more information, the one that you heard yesterday is going down, and the one that you're hearing is taking precedence over the former information. So the only way that information can stay fresh, the only way that knowledge can stay abreast in your mind is that you have a vision, because this vision is not based on emotions and it's not based on certain parameters. It is a generated thing within you that keeps you going. So having a why is an essential ingredient that keeps you focused in your business. I'm emphasizing on this because I'm telling you the truth. From most of the people that I've seen in network marketing that are very successful, read their books, I've listened to their interviews, I've even attended their seminars, okay, to hear them speak. Some of these seminars, we paid dearly for it so that we can hear these people that are succeeding. What is it that they are doing? If you want to succeed in an industry, listen to the people that have achieved success. If you listen to the people that failed, chances are that you are going to fail, because they are going to be the ones to furnish you with negative information, negative energy that can push you downwards. But if you listen to the people that are successful, they're going to share valuable secrets and information with you that can move you to the next level. Now, take note of this. If people are not calling you crazy yet, you have not started focusing. Let me say that again. If people have not started saying something is wrong with this man, something is wrong with this woman, Oga, what are you even looking for? You have not started. That means because you've not activated that thing that can cut through something like laser focus. I told us at the beginning that laser focus, you see, the laser beam can cut through metal. This light that you are seeing, if you channel light through a laser beam, it can cut through even metal. So if you have not developed that kind of laser focus that people say, Oga, what do you look for? Madam, what are you looking for? This is what separates champions from spectators. So you, of course, when we say crazy, we don't say you have to begin to behave like a madman or a woman. No, that's not what we're saying. But we're saying that you're developing a radical approach to your business. I prefer to use the word radical, right? If you know what radical elements are, they are quite unstable, but they have performance attributes. So people look at you and they're, what's wrong with this man? What's wrong with this woman? But guess what? You have a sense of direction and clarity because you know where you're headed, you know what you're pursuing, you know what you're looking for, and you know what you want to achieve at the end of the day. Take a look at what I have on my screen. If you see what we have there, you see Shineway, Shineway, Shineway everywhere. Shineway, Shineway, Shineway everywhere. Shineway, Shineway, Shineway everywhere. Guess what? That question mark at the middle, the moment something else comes there that is not Shineway, it takes your attention away from all the other Shineway that is surrounding, and you just realize that you're going to focus and look at that thing. Where that question mark is, at the end of the day, the moment that happens, I tell you, you will not be seeing what is happening around on the site anymore. Your attention will be taken away from the multiple Shineways that is on your screen, and it's going to be focused on the information that will appear where the question mark is. That's what focus is, and that's what distractions can do for us. Ladies and gentlemen, you see, our portfolios have been designed carefully to help us to succeed here at Shineway. Okay, now, when we talk about success, who can succeed in this business? Who can achieve success from Shineway? Number one category of people, anybody who is willing and ready to be shown how the system works. Anybody who doesn't mind the idea of residual income as long as it does not affect what they are currently doing. Number three, anybody who is tired of where they are financially or health-wise and looking for a legitimate income source, and anybody who desires more in life. The good news is that everybody here right now, listening to the sound of my voice, falls into these four categories. Because for you to be here up until this moment, it means that you are willing and ready to be shown how the system works. It means that you don't mind the idea of a residual income. It means that you probably may not even like where you are right now financially, and you're looking for a legitimate source of income or to do with your health. And it also means that you desire more in life. And so for that reason, I want to specially congratulate you for being a part of this training session up until this moment as we prepare to close this session. At this juncture, I'm going to pause right now so that we can take questions and hear from our participants, those of us that are here, what we have learned so far, what we have seen so far, and what we have discussed so